Hello, hello. This is the Awful and Awesome Entertainment Wrap, episode 336. This is Rajyasree
I'm Nainika.
and it's bitingly cold in Delhi, but we have braved the ice storm and we've come to get
Showed
to
up
some.
to record.
Yes. So we have a film which is a really nice film actually. A film, a series, two series. Is the thriller film as well? That's a film. So
Yes,
two
it's a film.
films, one series which is quite quite a commentary on India.
Culture.
And and the Golden Globes, of course. Tanuja Chandra has now made Wedding.con. It has 5 episodes and it's the story of 5 different women.
Right.
It's a true crime drama and it's on Amazon Prime right now. So I think the episodes are around an hour or
A
40
little less than an hour, like a 40 minute. It didn't feel too dragged out.
Yeah.
So it was like a 40-ish minute episode.
Yeah, so it's a little similar to Tinder Swindler, which
Yes.
was on Netflix, which is about how... But Tinder Swindler isn't about the arranged marriage market.
It's about the
but
dating
Tinder
app market.
is, according to me, like arranged marriage.
You've talked about it
Yeah,
earlier.
so I find it the same. But it's arranged marriage for foreigners, I suppose, in a way. But like you're shopping for people based on very little information that is there. And it is this whole thing of how, similar to India, how people are desperate for love and
Yes.
companionship and are willing to believe pretty much anything about a person who shows that interest
As
in
long
them.
as you're vulnerable, as
Yeah.
long as they promise love.
Yeah,
Yes.
and most con men or women know how to spot people
Or vulnerable.
who,
Yes, absolutely.
that is why
I
they
think
are
that's their
successful.
MO is
Yeah.
that's how they get successful. They figure out who's desperate enough to fall into their
Yeah. And whether you're in a situation which is like, are you a single mother with a child and you're worried about your
Correct.
finances? So they figure it out pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
But so this is almost all the women I think were based in the South.
most of them, Bangalore
Most,
or
yeah.
something, Pune, things. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a mix of women. There's one who's a single mother
Yes.
with a daughter. There's another
Actually, 2 of them were single mothers.
single mothers,
Yes.
right? And one is this young girl who's an engineer who has a very good job
Yes.
actually, who's looking to get married.
Correct.
There's another one who's a youngish woman, I would say, who has a sister and a mother. Her father has
Yes.
died and they
Yes.
run this shop.
Tobacco shop, a pawn shop, yeah.
A pawn shop. So she's looking to get married, and there's another one also who's similar. These are the same profiles of women who are slightly... They would
Marriageable age, but there's something or the other that is like,
some
preventing them
insecurity
from...
or
so one of
something.
them had father passed away recently. 2 of them were single mothers. One of them had some that horoscope thing, that Mangal dosh
she
that
is
they said.
like me. I'm a
You
Mangal.
oh, really?
Aishwarya Rai also.
Really?
I
did
also
not-
went to the temple in Varanasi, not out of choice. Someone took me, just to be clear. And when I went in against my better judgment, I was told, and this is the banana tree.
That
I
you
think it
should
was
marry.
a banana tree, not a banyan tree.
They make you marry it,
Clearly,
right?
yeah. They said this is the one which Aishwarya Rai married. So I was like,
Wonderful. This is the
good.
exact-
I'm happy about this greatly regressive practice that you have shared with me. And it fills me with joy, absolutely. But they are all working.
All of them.
Everyone is a working
Correct.
woman. They seem very sensible and
Correct.
practical.
Yeah,
and
all of
that.
them actually didn't seem like the type. They just had that, a little bit of like that
That's
emotional
something
vulnerability.
which is-
all of
yeah.
them made money. They were well, and they weren't even like from very disadvantaged. A lot of them made decent money.
Yeah.
I think one of them was some senior manager at some IT firm.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
She
So
must have
the
been
one who was talking to this guy
American-
who claimed that he was in the army.
American
in
Army. It was some training, US training camp.
and he was Israeli or something, whatever his. And he kept saying that I will get transferred to,
India, but
will
I've
be
been
sent to India
Syria.
to work, as in work in
Deployed
the
in
army,
India.
deployed in India. And to do this deployment at the last minute, he said, I have to pay a bribe to the officer
Right.
in charge. And then you do wonder that it sounds so implausible, his
Correct,
story, but
correct.
you realize that when...
Anybody can fall prey, and it's always women who, with the first episode, all of them are like, I just wanted somebody to take care of me. I just wanted somebody
and
to
someone will
understand
take
my
care of my
needs.
daughter.
Yeah, and very honest, vulnerable needs that any of us could be faced with in life. To be like,
Yeah.
I just wanted somebody to ask me at the end of the day if I'm feeling good. I wanted somebody to treat me like an equal, to respect me. Those aren't even high-flying wishes that you have, but it's so evident that the culture is like completely, totally lacking in love, that even base desires such as
Yeah.
these can absolutely be exploited to hell and
And
back.
this sort of focus on you have to get married.
by a
There's
certain
no
age.
reason for these women, actually, some of them, like of course the young girl who's not,
Right.
who has no responsibilities as
Correct.
such, or like a daughter or a child or something. But there's no reason why they should be so desperate to get married, because they are quite self-sufficient. They're living in their own
Right.
homes, all that. But you do get that feeling. But I also found it interesting that Tanuja Chanda, instead of making a commercial film, has made
a documentary about
like
it.
this.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. I think it gives you a little bit like more honest look into, because if you were looking at it from like a piece of like media on the outside, you'd be like, yeah, I can't imagine anyone being stupid enough to get
Yeah.
swindled. But that's not how it is. People really do get swindled.
No, and I know someone, in fact, who, I'm not going to name the person, who is like a VP in a big, like a PR ad agency and all, and he was telling me that someone called him on the phone and said that I am going to read a mail first from our subscriber RS. I found Tanishka's statement on Christmas as usual being racist fascinating. As someone with a European partner, I thought the film was depicting Norwegians as racist rather than being racist itself. But I also wonder how subtle is too subtle. In the Crashing series, which Tanishka recommended, a character straight up demands, what's with the racism, which is the other extreme, I suppose. Other than that, I agree with T. Crashing was definitely more fun and the stakes felt more real.
Have you watched Crashing?
I've watched Crashing and I loved
This
it.
is the Phoebe Waller-Bridge,
Yeah,
like the one that
it
got
is
exactly
just
one season.
fabulous.
It's amazing.
It is so good, but
It is
I
really
tried
good.
to watch Christmas as usual. And I watched 20 minutes, and I think Kanan Gill is very cute looking and
But
all.
that's
But
it.
20 minutes, I was
Is
like,
all
dude,
I
this is
can do.
unbearable. Absolutely. Hanek Kang has written, "Hi NL team, keep up the good work. I want to request you to review a series on Punjab named Chamak. It's a musical thriller which gives a deep dive about the dark side of the Punjabi music industry and touches upon the donkey route of Punjabi migration. The casting is very good, music fabulous, and script very tight. Wish to see your view." Okay, we'll find it and
We will
I'll
try and watch
recommend
it,
it to
yeah.
Abhinandan to watch it. Because I'm not favorably inclined to anything
Punjabi?
naughty. Okay. But
Spiritually disagree with.
now to a film which I personally loved,
Oh, yeah.
which is Good Grief, which is directed, it's on Netflix. It's on Netflix, right? Yeah.
Yes.
It's directed by Daniel Levy, who was, if you watch Schitt's Creek, which I also loved, Daniel Levy was the actor in this thing in Schitt's Creek. He plays the son. For Good Grief, he has written, directed, and acted
Yes.
in the film, and it stars him. It stars Luke Evans, who I find so good looking, and I was so sad when I had found out that he was gay. Now I found out Matt Bomer is gay also. It's just devastating. This year has been so terrible for me.
Rajyasree, maybe you have a type.
Yeah, maybe I have a type. My gaydar is usually very strong. I don't know what has happened here. It also stars Himesh Patel, who was in
He was in
Every
Tenet.
Day.
He was in Tenet also.
He was in Tenet also. He
Yes.
was also in that Beatles film, Every
Oh,
Day,
I
I
didn't
think
watch
it's
that.
called. Yesterday.
Was he
Which
playing the
is-
Baba from Rishikesh?
No, it's very good. You should watch this
Okay.
thing. Although we figured it out in the first 2 minutes what
Ooh.
was happening. But it's the film is about Dan Levy, who is married.
He's an illustrator, painter,
Yeah, he's an
artist,
illustrator,
married to a
and all.
writer.
Married to a writer who's a very well-off writer, because
Yes.
he is a very
He has had movie adaptations.
yeah.
He has a full estate of his own, as opposed to just, being one
Yeah.
of those penurious writers.
and they are this very like seemingly loved up couple.
Yes.
And they have this massive party where
I do wish, like for a while, like pre like all these superhero movie renaissance that happened, there used to be these these were like your mid-sized studio releases. Like you would catch it in the theater, it would run for like a few weeks and people wouldn't be like moved away. It wouldn't be like a blockbuster hit, but people would talk about it. It would lead to a conversation. People would say, oh, that's a good film that I watched this year. But you don't have that anymore with, every studio rushing to just make more and more superhero films. So it's kind of rare to lose out on this genre of slightly introspective, slightly sweet films that really show the might of the artist and the writer behind it, which I think Dan Levy's done a good job. And I'm glad these movies are coming back. More of this, please.
We have a new NL Sena project, the new Ayodhya. As you all know, Jan 22nd is to mark the dawn of Ayodhya's golden age. What this means for Ayodhya, this national reconstruction that is happening, the being at the center of this national sort of our national ethos now, this airport has already been built. What does it mean for the residents of the town? And now at the end of this Ram temple legal battle, which has been happening for so long, now that it's coming to an end, what does it hold for everyone, not just people in that town, but Shweta Desai and Basant Kumar will be there on ground and they will try to answer all these questions and more. There will be a video in English and Hindi. There'll be video reports. But to do this, please, it costs money. It's a very difficult thing to do also, keeping in mind political tensions, the tensions on ground as well over there. So please contribute to NL Sena project, to this project especially, and help us tell this story. And for more from us, you now have to go to one of the streaming sites that you listen to the podcast or on the website. You have to be a subscriber and then you can listen to us there.
Journalism at News Laundry is powered by the public, because when the public pays, the public is served. Visit newslaundry.com/subscription and pick a payment plan of your choice. Pay to keep news free and independent. Your future, and indeed the future of democracy, depends on it.